Welcome to week 3. I hope that you're starting to notice some improvements in the areas you've been working on so far. The purpose of this video is to help you to recognize unhelpful thoughts and feelings and think about them in a more positive, empowering way. This is called reframing. Reframing is a cognitive process that involves consciously changing the way we perceive or interpret a situation, event, or thought. It is about shifting our perspective and looking at things from a different angle or with a different mindset. By reframing, we can reinterpret negative or challenging experiences in a more positive or constructive light. It allows us to find new meaning, alternative solutions, and different emotions associated with a particular situation. Reframing helps us break free from negative thought patterns and opens possibilities for increased optimism, resilience, and growth. I want to share a story with you, followed by a technique that you can use to reframe your negative thoughts and negative self-talk. As I mentioned in the last video, I experienced a lot of anxiety in grad school. At the beginning of my second year of grad school, I was driving down the highway. It was a cool fall morning and I was running late. I was feeling annoyed with this truck ahead of me because it was going under the speed limit in the fast lane. This is definitely one of my pet peeves. All of a sudden, I had to go to the bathroom. It was one of those calls from nature that you can't say, "I'll be there in a minute." It was one where the bear is at the door, like they say in Argentina. Somehow I made it off the road and into a bathroom at a gas station. The anxiety I was feeling was so intense that it was affecting my digestion, or lack of it at the moment. I got back on the highway and continued en route to school when, yet again, nature was calling. There were no exits on the highway and no gas stations in sight, so I had to use the outdoor facilities. Thank goodness for those extra napkins in the glove box. Sorry about the TMI. At this moment, I knew something had to change. I wouldn't last through the week, let alone another semester, if I didn't change something. One of the things that has helped me was understand and applying this idea of the law of the harvest. The law of the harvest is a principle that states that whatever you plant, that is what you're going to harvest. When it comes to mental well-being, the law of the harvest can be applied in a similar way. Just as a farmer must tend to their crops, we must take care of our mental health by cultivating positive thoughts. I was creating this mess with all my fearful thoughts. Another thing I came to understand was that I was not a victim to my feelings. I realized if I planted fear all day long, it wasn't going to produce peaceful and confident things. It was going to produce anxiety and panic. It's our thoughts that create our feelings, not our circumstances. Our circumstances can influence our thoughts, but it is our thoughts that create our feelings. Our thoughts are electrical impulses in our brain, and our feelings are the chemical response in the body. I learned if I replaced trust with whatever I was worrying or fearing about, I felt calmer and more confident. The most common negative emotions we experience are derived from fear and anger. Fear can often be a major roadblock on our path to reaching our goals. It has a way of holding us back, making us doubt our abilities, keeping us within our comfort zones. However, reframing fear can be incredibly helpful in overwhelming these obstacles. By shifting our perspective, we can view fear as a sign of growth and opportunity rather than a threat. Reframing fear allows us to embrace it as a natural part of the journey towards success, and it empowers us to take bold actions, step out of our comfort zones, and ultimately achieve our goals. Remember, fear is not a barrier, but rather a catalyst for growth and transformation. When you are feeling fearful thoughts, I have found it helpful to plug whatever it is that you are afraid of into a trust statement that may sound something like this. I trust that God helps me with, or I trust the universe or my higher power helps me with. For example, when I first started making these videos, I was terrified. After reframing and doing some alignment work to release the fear, my mantra became, I trust God helps me to be calm and confident when I make these videos. That has made a huge difference for me. Anger can be a powerful emotion, but it often holds us back from achieving our goals. When we allow anger to consume us, it clouds our judgment and impairs our ability to think rationally. It can lead us to impulsive actions and strain our relationships, both of which hinder our progress. Anger also drains us of energy and focus, diverting our attention away from the task and actions necessary for our success. By learning to manage and channel our anger in a constructive way, we can break free from its grip and create a path towards achieving our goals. I have discovered that when I'm experiencing angry thoughts and feelings, the best way to reframe them is by finding something for which you are grateful. For example, I was on a bike ride the other day and I started to feel frustrated when I realized that one of my tires was low on air and it was making it hard for me to ride. I thought to myself, how can I think about this differently? I came up with, I'm grateful for my bike, this lovely trail I have to ride on, and this beautiful day. I thought, I am grateful I am getting a harder workout in a shorter period of time, like increasing the tension on the stationary bike at the gym. After that, my frustrations were all gone. Reframing our negative thoughts can be a transformative process that takes time and effort. It involves consciously challenging and replacing negative thoughts with more positive and empowering ones. While it may not happen overnight, the results of this practice are truly worth it. By reframing our negative thoughts, we can cultivate a more optimistic and realistic mindset, leading to increased happiness and overall well-being. Remember, every small step towards reframing negative thoughts is a step towards a happier and more fulfilling life. The following tool is something that I developed for my clients to help them practice reframing their negative thoughts. Pull out your worksheet for week 3 and follow along. We can reframe negative thoughts with the pass tool. The image I have in my mind is of a yummy bowl of ice cream, and smack dab in the middle of it is a huge roach. Yuck. Sometimes it may seem like our negative self-talk is helping us to improve, but in fact, it's not. When we beat ourselves up, we just feel beat up. The idea with the ice cream and the roach is that we're going to pass on letting negative thoughts and negative self-talk dictate how we feel. The P in pass stands for pay attention to how you are feeling. Scientists say that we have somewhere between 40 and 60,000 thoughts in a day, and many of them are unconscious, meaning we aren't aware of them because we have had these thoughts so many times. It's impossible to track every thought, but we can periodically ask ourselves throughout the day, how am I feeling right now? Doing this will help develop self-awareness, which is an essential tool in mastering your mind. The A in pass stands for ask yourself, what thoughts have I been thinking that have led me to feel this way? The first S in pass stands for stop. If it's helpful, imagine a big stop sign in your mind. Stop playing the old track in your mind that says something like, I'm so afraid, or I'm so angry about, fill in the blank, or I'm so dumb. And then I say to myself, I'm not going there. Nothing good is going to come from me going there. The second S in past stands for say something or think something that you know is true about yourself or the situation, like, I trust that God or the universe helps me with, fill in the blank. I am grateful for, fill in the blank. I am smart enough. Take some time and begin to fill out the worksheet with the situations from your own life. If there is a pattern of thinking that you become aware of, make a note of it so we can work on it during our one-on-one sessions together. Your homework is to practice reframing negative thoughts in the coming week. This technique is helpful in reframing negative thoughts and negative self-talk.